Hello. All right. How is it going, everybody? I'm getting better. I promise. It's not. I'm not as bad as I was the other day. The voice does not hurt. Just sounds bad. Should be good by the end of the weekend. So what's up, everybody? Welcome on in to the final post-race stream of 2024 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. We're going to start with a poll in the chat, and I want you to let me know out of 10 what you thought of this race. I think it was a lot better than last year personally. And thank you, everybody, for your well wishes on health, on the baby, on everything. It means a lot. Trust me, it really does. I can't really express with words too much how it does, just because it's hard for me to put those into words. But thank you guys for all that. I'm going to go with probably a 6, 7. Wow. All right. We're about in the same ballpark, except for NASCAR Shill. I'm probably in that 6, 7. I'll go 6.5. I thought that it was, a good breath of fresh air from last year. I think that this was a needed race compared to last year, and we saw the best of the best run up front in this race. I mean, the top three, Majeski, Heim, Eckes, were the best three all year. Envinger up there as well. Sanchez in fourth, probably the best guy outside of the final four all year. So I personally am pretty happy with this race. I didn't want to see it just devolve into dumb, stupid moments. I wanted to see, them race it out straight up. There were some dumb moments here and there, but it was not race breaking like last year. So I'm happy with that. For anyone who says that I'm negative and I never talk good about NASCAR, there you go. There you go. Of course, I know some are saying boring, not too much drama. Ty Majeski, man, led 132 laps. Now, I did not have the faith in him that I probably should have. I thought he was going to probably be, up there, but I thought that somebody like Envinger or Heim or Eckes would have been outrunning him, but no, not at all, man. Not at all. Looking at the finishing order of this race, let's break it all down. 150 laps for an hour, 44 minutes, 20 seconds, 7 lead changes, 3 leaders, and 6 caution flags on the night. I'm going to pull it up really quick because I want to compare to last year, because I think this race is so, shrouded over what happened last year. Just to say how much more straightforward it was. It's not opening up on my end. The last year's thing, NASCAR's probably hiding it. But if I'm not mistaken, this race is way shorter. So good on that side. And then, by the way, we have a poll running over under for Heim's 2025 win total of 6.5. Will we get more over or less under? Be sure to vote on that for a little bit. Let's go through the finishing order of this race. Ty Majeski wins by 4 seconds over Corey Heim. That's your championship gap. Then Christian Eckes, Sanchez, Enfinger, the top 5. Then Taylor Gray, Caden Honeycutt, Connor Mosack, Ben Rhodes, and Lane Riggs recovered to a top 10 finish after just losing it on his own. Racing hard, and if you're going to have guys losing it, I'd rather it be because they're racing to the very edge, not just losing it because they ran out of talent. We'll talk about the difference of that in a bit. Tanner Gray in 11th, then Chase Purdy 12th, 13th Raja Caruth, 14th Jake Garcia, Dean Thompson with the 15th, Brett Moffitt 16th quietly out there, 17th Connor Jones in his return, Stuart Friesen 18th, 19th Matt Crafton, and Dawson Sutton, the Nashville local, top 20 finish. Looking on there, 3 wins this year for Majeski, by the way, they're shown on screen. 21st driver to win a championship in the Truck Series. His previous best being 4th in points. 6th championship for Thor Sport Racing, most all-time in trucks. For anyone who's not seeing it or can't watch it, just want to let you know that. Going back to the finishing order, Bailey Curry and Timmy Hill round out the lead lap finishers, 21st and 22nd. Stephen Parsons, 23rd a lap down. Danny Dye, 24th. Mikey look away. It was not a good finish with his penalty. Matt Mills in the 25th spot. Nathan Bird, 26th. 27th, Thad Moffitt. 28th is Spencer Boyd, 4 laps down. By the way, Bird and Moffitt 3 down, 2 laps down for Mills, 4 laps down for Boyd, and Keith McGee 29th, 4 down. 30th, Lawless Allen, 4 laps down, last one on track. Perez out of this race. Everyone from this point on out of this race. Perez in 31st, Sawalich 32nd, Tyler Ankrum in 33rd, Frankie Muniz 34th, and Jack Wood last, 35th position in this race. Let's put up the post-race results. How about we do that for the Truck Series finale? They'll be up top scrolling. I probably got somebody's name wrong. You guys will let me know. Sorry, I'm in a good mood because simply I can speak again and it doesn't hurt. I made a joke earlier to some people. I was like, I sound like, if I get my voice low, I sound like one of those people that's like, next week on The Walking Dead. So, maybe I can do a 2-day voice acting career with this. But overall, as the voice does crack, overall, I was pretty happy with this compared to last year. I get it, low bar. We're going to end the poll here. 72% of you think that Heim will get more than 6.5 wins next year. So you're saying 7 or more. Leave me a number in the chat. How many wins do you think Corey Heim gets next year? I know that it's kind of overshadowing Ty Majeski. I think that he'll be competitive in anything he's in as long as it's top, not even top level. As long as it's just good in any way, he'll be there. So let's see. Jarrett kind of sounds like the guy who did the dramatic voiceover prior to the race. 4 drivers will go for the championship. Only one will win. There you go. You can use that in any promo for anything you want, as long as it's not like something I wouldn't approve of. A lot of people saying 7 or 8 wins for Heim next year. Okay. Looking through here though, it was a very straightforward race. We had a bit of a crazy streak. We had a bit where we had a 7-truck crash on a restart. We had, spins every now and then, but it was not stupid. We didn't have dumb revenge. We didn't have guys getting taken out of the championship for no reason. So I'm, I want better. I think the racing should be better than this for next year. It is Phoenix. Well, this is about the best we can get, but I'll deal with it. By the way, click that like button. Let's see if we can get to 100 likes, and I think we're trying to get halfway to 82K likes or subscribers. So, Mikey Waltrip saying, Jared say Danny died. Danny die. I do sound like Sheldon Creed. I can't do too much of that. That actually does hurt my voice, so I apologize. I can't do too much funny stuff. But yeah, just pure domination by Ty Majeski. They showed up, 132 laps led of 150, the most dominant championship race performance ever in the Truck Series since the implementation of the system. Say what you want about it. Majeski tonight was far and away the best guy out there. He led all but 18 laps tonight. And I don't have the numbers on me, but I have to think the majority of those were probably from Corey Heim, if not all of them were from Corey Heim. So, yeah, Ford kicked ass. And, Majeski, I think, had the best truck out there. I think the only one that could have competed with him had he not spun out was Lane Riggs. I'm telling you, this is such a nice breath of fresh air from last year. I feel so much more confident about this series heading into next year. You got a lot of these young drivers who are going to have their second year. You got guys like Raja coming back, Heim coming back, Majeski, I believe, should be in the same ride. Sanchez, I think, is moving forward, so it'll be interesting to see who's in that ride. But a lot of good drivers and a lot of drivers who I think will improve year over year. So I am actually pretty confident for next year. Still coughing. I can still hear my voice like trying to break through. But yeah, I mean, this is so different than last year where I felt no confidence for trucks going into the next season. It's not the greatest. It still can improve. But the lower series overall, I actually feel very good about it. It's actually the Cup series I'm most worried about, not as excited about. But yeah, so That's a big thing. Yeah, Sanchez replacing Kligerman, so it'll be interesting to see. There's going to be new faces. This is a series of turnover, but is what it is. And I see Fox already ditching the race to go to a bunch of low-tier schools that probably shouldn't even be on TV. No, it was not a shit show. And thank you. I know. I do sound better. I'm happy, man. By the end of the weekend, if I can just hear my normal voice, I'll be so happy. It sounds worse in person than over the mic, at least. Let's look point by point a bit more into this race. Again, very straightforward, not really too crazy. And the fun part, in a way, it's a fun part. In a way, it's not. Is the stage points really don't matter in this one. I can tell you where they finished, but give me a Y for yes, N for no. Do you want me to tell you where they finished in the stages? I'll be able to see you while we go through stage one, so it's not like I'll just be waiting for you on it. I'll be able to see Y for yes, N for no. But pole sitter tonight, Ty Majeski just dominated. I mean, absolutely dominated this race. And with it, it was from the get-go. I mean, he shot out like a cannon. And if they had more long runs, I think he would have been more at risk or fallible in any way, because it was Heim time. Lap 39, Corey Heim finally caught up to him, got the lead, but it was such a long run. If they would have just had less cautions, I do think that he would have been caught up a bit more. He was wearing the tires a bit more on those runs, but it is the Truck Series. Team knew what they were doing. 30-lap runs were probably about the furthest length they were going to go for the most part tonight. And we saw that. Lap 42 was the furthest. I think that was the farthest we went on a green flag run, and Frankie Muniz spun it around, brought out a caution, nearly hit Heim. Heim almost got into him. And had Heim won tonight, that evasive move would have been the championship winning move. But ultimately didn't. Looks like I'm seeing more N's than Y's, so I think we'll kind of skip by it. Again, the stages really don't matter in the finale, unfortunately. It matters for like some of the guys like Sanchez and Mosak and Riggs and all them trying to get points and positioning, but it's all in all, it's not really important in the big picture. So we'll keep moving on. Stage 2 starts up, and we'll read those super chats at the end. I appreciate it. And maybe at the end, truck-wise, leave questions in the chat at the end, and maybe we can do sort of a truck Q&A talking about it. Who won the championship? Ty Majeski. Ty Majeski won. You know what I could do really quick, just to kind of denote the championship contenders? I'm going to do this right now. You'll see it on the top, on-air production meeting. I'm going to put a little star or asterisk. It's an asterisk, but it's supposed to be a star. I'm going to put this next to all of the championship drivers. That way, for anyone who's just joining us, you know where they all finished up. And I think I'll do that for the rest of the weekend. Sound good? Let me know. If you don't want me to, I don't have to. But we get it back restarted, and this is where we start getting a little bit more trouble into stage 2 and the start of stage 3. We get a restart. Majeski, of course, clears. That's not even something we really need to cover. But it was Jack Wood nailing the turn 2 wall. He just kind of washed up into Bailey Curry going 3 wide. Typical Phoenix crash. There's not much more really to cover on that, but it completely totaled that truck. He was out for the night after that. A tough ending for a driver who was, all in all, not really shown up in any way this year. In a year that I think a lot of people are like, we're thinking he was going to show out a little bit more. So, tough end to a tough year for Wood. But race moves on. We get it back going. There was contact. There was 4 wide racing for the lead up front. This one, Corey Heim got it. That was a one time, for the most part, that I can remember, that Majeski just was outclassed in any way. But only a few laps later, Majeski would get the lead back. Not that anyone would know, because they were under caution. I get it. Or not caution, commercial. Might as well have been under caution for us. The commercials tonight were overbearing. Even for Fox standards. And the fact that we have 7 more years of this clownery is not appealing in any way. when I talk about being excited for the trucks next year and the direction it's going, I'm talking about the drivers on track, the on-track direction. I believe this is the least amount of cautions in, let me double check. I have like a file here. I believe this is one of the lowest amount of caution laps we've had in a truck season in a long time. Let's see. Yeah, this is the lowest amount of caution laps I think we've had in a truck season since 2020, and is kind of back to the pre-pandemic levels of cautions, caution flags, and we're getting a lot of those experienced drivers back next year, so there is that. Is it just me or Jared? It sounds like I am sick, unfortunately. I'm getting back. I'm on the mend. But yeah, I definitely need to go and watch more of the international stream, because missing not only a pass for the lead, but a pass for the championship lead, which again, NASCAR puts so much emphasis on, that's unacceptable by any TV partner, and that needs to be changed. I don't care if it's side by side. I don't care if it's full screen. We got to find ways to limit commercials. That's just the way that the industry is moving. It's the way that the youth viewership is moving. And I'll say it. I mean, other than NASCAR, nothing I watch gets interrupted during the entertainment value of it under any circumstance with commercial. Only NASCAR. It is the outlier. I don't have any shows, obviously, that are doing this. No other sports I watch get interrupted during the play or during the competition, I should say. NASCAR is the outlier in every way. If I turn on an F1 race, I'm not going to have this. And that's the direction we're going. NASCAR and the TV guys, they got to adapt. I mean, we got to adapt. Of course, they end the stage, he gets the win. And we move to the final stage where we have some calamity. We get it back restarted side by side for about a lap between Sanchez and Majeski, and then we get a crash. Connor Mosack kind of got out of the groove, a little tight out of the corner, hits the wall, goes back in. There's a bit of a bottleneck. Tyler Ankrum seems to swerve in every way to collect as many trucks as possible, and a big crash happens. The 18, 7, 27 of Frankie Muniz taken out, 44, 46, 76. A lot of the back markers taken out in this. But we do get two big things from this. One, we get a red flag. There were fluids on the racetrack from it. So I'm starting to get kind of like those flashbacks last year, like, oh no, not again. But I think the biggest thing that we saw from this is Corey Heim called for a restart violation. Now, I saw a lot of people talking about this on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, saying it was unfair. And I kind of get the argument because the 38 was moving down a little bit, but the 38 did correct. And with that, Heim kept going down there. I don't know any other way to put it. Unless they have a defined place on the track in any way of like, hey, do not move down, that by the letter of the law is the penalty. So, but you're not watching F1 because it's boring. Yeah, I'll tune into like one or two races a year when I have nothing else to do. I don't think Road Ranger sucks. I used to go to Road Ranger a lot when I lived up in Illinois. But Heim having that happen, I mean, it got him on a different, kind of strategy and all, but I don't understand, if you're going to the back anyway, why not take the fresh tires and take your chances, But that pretty much ended his competition aspect of this race. I mean, yes, he did come back for a second place finish, but you got to think too, if you're up there, you can be aggressive. Like you could get them on a restart at one point. You could, so much could change just being up there. And unfortunately for him, that just did not happen. But we get it back going with 43 to go. And, Lane Riggs up there in second. He's racing Majeski hard. It's looking good. And Connor Jones just completely no talents it. Spins himself around with no contact or anything else. Back to form in a lot of ways. that's going to be interesting for next year. I don't know for sure whether he has that ride or not full-time next year, but it's going to be very interesting seeing whether or not Jones can improve his standing with a lot of the other drivers. Because I could see, with how you are in the chat, so fans, with media, with other drivers, other series like the Cars Tour, he has basically no respect to his name, and he has not earned it. He has not. Respect is earned. It is not a right to have respect. It is earned, and he has not earned respect in any way. I hope he does. It's a young driver, has a ton of time to improve himself in different aspects, but this year was not a good showing for that young man. This does have a bit of a pit split. We have the 9 and the 19 come in, different tire strategies given, just some kind of way to try and spread yourself out, try and get away from what the leaders are doing. It's the old Larry Mack adage, like if you just follow the leaders, you're just going to follow the leaders because they're just going to run behind them. You got to do something different. And I give them that. They gave it a shot. We get it back restarted. And again, 98 runs off, Riggs goes around, and Heim goes from 8th to 3rd. Just I think inexperience on the part of the 38. Going hard, for broke, but when you straddle that line between the apron and the racing surface, you're gonna have a little less of those tires on the racetrack itself, and you're gonna lose grip. And if you're not completely perfect with it, you're gonna go around, and that's what happened to Lane Riggs. Not the smartest of moves, but you know what? He's a young driver who has proven himself to be really good, and I think he'll be much better into next year. I think he'll be a Championship 4 contender. If he doesn't make it, he'll be contending for a spot for sure. Of course, then, with 27 remaining, we get our final restart of the season. The 98 leads, goes way off. We're all racing in the pack. Heim gets up to 2nd, but there's nothing really. And the only real thing to note is that about 10 laps of the last 20 were run under commercial. And Ty Majeski wins it and wins the championship. Well, thanks, James. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys appreciate me. The show must go on, whether I'm healthy or not. And this is nowhere near as bad as it could be, or even as it was yesterday. So I want to ask you now. Put it out of 10 in the chat. Rate the season for the trucks. Because I think this truck season didn't have maybe the highs that last season had, but I don't think it had the lows, namely the finale. It had some bad moments. It did not start well in particular, but I honestly think that it was not that bad. Whether out of 10, A to F grade, whatever you want to put out there, I'd give it probably a B-. I think it was a noticeable improvement over the bad parts of last year. I think there's still a lot of room for improvement. Again, I'm actually really excited for next year's truck season. So, TV is a whole different story. That one for me, I put a full-on F, 1 out of 10 grade on. But this isn't talking about TV. It's talking about just the season itself. I'd give it about a B-, probably again, about 6.5. This race kind of encompassed the truck season for me, honestly. Of course, 0 out of 10. Needed more Danny Dye. Oof, man. But yeah, that covers it, man. Let's look at the super chats and leave any questions in the chat. Probably keep it truck related, just NASCAR in general if we want to ask about the rest of the weekend, but let's roll on into it. GN NASCAR fan for the 5. Ty Majeski was part of the infamous, 60 car in 2018 with Briscoe and Cindric. Unlike those two, Majeski had to wait until now to reach the mountaintop. Yeah, but amazing how far they've come. I'm going to write that down. I might do a video on that. Oh man, much better. Did you hear the host of our Stray by Heim? Yeah, that was pretty funny. I love when drivers do that. I know some people are like, don't be petty, only be constructive. Nah, man, let's have some drama on this thing. Stir the pot. That's what makes it fun. You don't I think it's more up to people, say like, me or other media, I think those are the ones that, like, be more constructive. We don't need to stir the pot. It's not up to the media to stir the pot. Give your opinion, whatever it may be, but generally try and be constructive. As the drivers, in a lot of ways, they're entertainers, and I like them being entertainers. Give us a off-season video where your commentary is as if you were NASCAR shill. Even in a parody, I cannot shill. I'm sorry. It's funny. It's a great account. I can't do it, man. What do you think happens now that the injunction has been denied? They can appeal, but then at that point they run the risk, from what I read, of having the entire thing thrown out. So I think they're going to have to race next year without charters. And I'm telling you now, we'll be live after it. We'll be live the night before on NWP. I think it'll be on Eric's channel that Wednesday, just like it is this Wednesday for the finale. The duels are going to be must-watch television. If Tyler Reddick wins the championship and then misses the Daytona 500, that will be the biggest story from the duels probably in 20 years. And in one half, I don't like it because those are competitive teams that now will be at risk or might not show up to all the races. On the other end, when it comes to the drama aspect, call me TMZ because I'm all there for it, man. I am happy with that. By the way, I'm looking at the chat. No, it's all over the place. I'm just looking at the chat. I'm happy with we had Adam Alexander over Jamie Little. Have you seen the news on Chase Purdy not having a ride next season? I mean, he really didn't show up much this year. Reverend Rasheem Hall Stewart for the 2. Corey Heim, 2025 Truck Series champion. I think he has a very good shot of doing so, but I do think there's going to be some pretty good guys out there against him. Raja, I think, is going to improve a lot. I think Lane Riggs is the one that everyone's looking at. I believe Majeski will be back. I'm very, very excited for what next year looks like. Try not to cough in the mic. What are your thoughts on Rockingham coming back? Love it. Absolutely love it. And I will be sitting there all of Friday and Saturday of Easter weekend. We'll be live after that. I am going to be glued to my TV. If you can't go to the race, glue yourself to the TV. Watch those races because we need to support this track in any way possible so it'll stay. It's a great little racetrack, and as it wears, it's only going to get better. Just look how it was before. Oh, no, I ran out of water. That's not good. Robbie in here with the 5. First truck race I've watched live in person in like 10 years. I'm just glad it ended under green. Same. Welcome back. Hey, and tell you what, if you watch more of them, we do this after every one of these races. So, everyone who might be new here, subscribe. We won't be doing anything after this weekend, but we'll be live. I mean, as long as I'm live after Xfinity and Cup over the next 2 days, I will have covered every single race this season, which a perfect 100% streak on. So I'm very happy with that. And we'll attempt to do it next year. There's other factors next year that might get in the way of that. I'm okay with that, obviously. But I will strive to get to every single one possible, even if I'm at the track. It's things like this and talking to you guys that makes me more pumped for NASCAR, even if I don't like what leadership is doing, even if I might disagree with stuff or maybe the racing isn't great. It's doing these that makes it really fun and talking to a lot of you guys in here. All of you guys, I should say, in here. Even the ones that don't like me, that makes it fun. That makes it real fun. CBB with the 5. Race was okay except for FS1 squeezing every possible commercial in. Name idea if you have a son. Oh, I'm not naming my kid after Ice Cube. I think that one will be struck down immediately, especially since they can't sing half those songs word for word, probably more than half. So let's see. Evan in the chat here. So what is going on with 2311? Like, are their charters gone or what's happening? So basically they won't have charters next year just because they didn't sign the agreement this year. I think the real question is what happens to the charters that, they bought. It sounds like both of them bought one of them from Stewart Haas Racing. Do those charters just disappear and they go with the 32? That sounds like what NASCAR is doing. It's going to be a story we cover over the offseason for sure. We might be live, just me at least, and because NWP ends this Wednesday for the season, but we might go live in like November, December, because I think this news is going to carry over the entire time. I think my only limit is that it can't be Christmas morning, Christmas morning or Thanksgiving night. Other than that, I would do my best to keep up on it more. Timmy with the 19-month member chat. Did you see that Brad's crew chief won't return? I did see that. I'm interested with that because I do think that he's a pretty good Matt McCall, I believe, is a pretty good little crew chief. So I'm wondering who they get. I heard Bullens might be an option. Try Nitro for the 5. Only in NASCAR. There goes the voice again. Can someone with an average finish of 5.39 Eckes and 7.17 Heim lose the championship to an average finish of 10.65 Majeski? It's true. But in all honesty, I do think Eckes and Heim were the deserving winners, and I wanted to see them win because they put the best season forth. But if it had to be anybody else, Majeski I was happy with. Anyone else in the field. So I'm very, very happy with that. I see NASCAR still asking me to name my kid Jim if it's a boy. That's funny. Hey, Prada with the 10. Congrats on the baby, Jared. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. I really appreciate it. Both Riss and I are it blew us away how nice and kind everyone has been about it. Many blessings to the family. Ty spanked them tonight. You can say that Eckes got his karma for last week. Ty was out last week, and Eckes got him back after punting Gray. He did spank him. I mean, that's the best way to put it. Karma aside, any of that, no one was beating Ty Majeski tonight without crashing him, and I'm glad they didn't. Let's see. So Jarrett, I see this from Brony24ever. So Jarrett, what are your thoughts on 25 truck races for 2025, as well as Lime Rock making its NASCAR debut? So I like having more truck races, less dead time, because the series has the ability to provide really great racing. And Lime Rock, I remember hearing about Lime Rock a couple months before it was announced. And I wasn't sure, I didn't say anything publicly. I might have left a hint or something on NWP a week or two before. But I remember hearing about it and I was like, well, that's interesting. I don't know how they'll fit it. It's going to be interesting to me just because I think that road courses in particular, we need to have a lot more of them on the truck schedule, I think, even if we don't have as many on the Cup schedule, because these drivers, I think, especially moving up, need to master that craft. It's so important for Xfinity and Cup. So I like it. I personally like Truck Series road course racing. I like the fact we don't have to throw a caution for every little thing that happens. So I'm positive for it, and I love seeing new tracks. So I'm all for it, man. Trucks at the Roval, yeah, that's right. They're at the Roval next year. That's gonna be a cluster. That's gonna be a cluster in every way, man. Let's see. Who are your favorite Vikings players growing up? I mean, there's the obvious ones like Adrian Peterson, Sidney Rice, Percy Harvin. But the one that everyone seems to overlook that I love, and if you're a football fan, just in general, look this guy up, Antoine Winfield. He is the prototype for the current cornerback, slot corner in the NFL. I loved him. He was a hard hitter, sacked the quarterback, made amazing plays. All of that, take your fandom aside, Vikings or Packers, Lions, Bears, Eagles, whoever it might be out there that I've seen. Look him up. Because CBB saying Dante Culpepper, I came in right at the very end of the Culpepper era. And Alan Page is goated. But that was like 20 years before me. What kind of Viking fans don't love Christian Ponder? Intelligent ones. Great person, nice person. Not the greatest football player. Snappy with the 5 here. Let's see, 11, Mikey. It's so hard to see where the start finish line is here. Me. Points at the giant green glowing cactus in the middle of the straight. Yeah. If you can see the giant green glowing cactus or the yellow cactus or whatever color it is at any given time, that's the start finish line. It's so damn easy. It's a night race. I'm right with you, man. I'm right with you. And that was one of the first things I thought with that penalty is like, I see the giant cactus. Spam cacti in the chat, by the way. That is the plural for cactus. Little fun fact of the day. Yeah, spam those cacti. Plural for cactus. I had to I'm sorry if it comes across nasty. I had to put a cough drop in. Voice is hitting its limit. Leave like 1 or 2 more. Let's see, maybe take 1 or 2 more questions, and we'll end this baby off. We'll be live tomorrow after Xfinity. Hopefully my voice is better. I think it will be. And of course after Cup. And then Wednesday night, Eric Estep's channel for the NWP Season 7 finale. And then from there, we'll probably be live at different points during the off season. In particular, I want to do race watch-alongs again. I want to make that more of a thing. Tier list videos maybe. I actually have like a... Yeah, so I actually have a list of streams I want to try over the off season. I want to know. All right, put Y for yes, N for no on this. Would you be down over the off season if I put up a stream and the chat, you guys and I'll just take what you guys vote for and we try and make the ultimate Cup Series schedule? Y for yes, N for no. Would you guys be down with doing that? Like, I'll give you a poll over how many races we can have, over what playoff format you want for it, even to put the championship. We can do the current one. We can do a chase, Winston Cup, whatever. And we just go nuts for like 2 hours and just break it down. We can break down night races on Saturdays and Sundays, what tracks get 2, what get 1, what new tracks we bring on. Does every track just get 1 race? Like, let me know in the chat. I think you guys are liking it. I'm going to note that down right now. That is for sure, I think, one that we got to do. Create a schedule. And maybe we can do it every offseason. Like, obviously the winds of change can come along and we can just like edit the previous one or something. I mean, yeah. It'd probably be something we do in December. I'm going to be pretty busy at the end of November just with some predetermined things I was doing. Of course, baby stuff that, I need to focus on that. I'd be a horrible person if I was not focusing on that. I think we'll bring the IRL streams back a bit more. Probably have, Danny and Eric come on some of them. Maybe get like David Land and Slap to come on just for basically the impromptu BS stream. Tier lists, of course. I do want to try, because I'm probably going to get a better computer for streaming. I do want to try getting an emulator and doing maybe like once or twice a month. We just do a NASCAR Thunder career mode stream. We just have fun with it. I just BS with you guys. Maybe what I'll do is I can pause it and let you guys be the crew chief. And then you guys just give me the strategy calls. I know a lot of people do videos on that, and it's kind of like, ran out. But it would be pretty fun to try that, Let's see what else we got. We will not be doing the romance novel stream. That has passed us by. But yeah, put your questions in. Of course, we'll do race reacts. Those will be really fun. And Gavin here with the 5. How about a 36 race season, but every playoff race is at Daytona? No. If you want to put Daytona in the playoffs as the finale or cutoff race, y'all do it. It's up to you. I am not going to try and sway you one way or another. I am just sort of the one who is pushing this all along. Days of Thunder 2 happening, yes or no? I say yes. I have heard it is. I heard from a few people that I trust, that Tom Cruise was for sure at Charlotte and has been at other tracks, and members of like that crew that helped with like Top Gun Maverick have been at NASCAR races. I don't know how true it is, but you know, I it's what I've heard at least, and I know that there's been reportings of it. I know it's been in the works for a while, so I do think it is happening. Is Darian doing all right? Yeah, he's doing good. He's doing his own thing right now. No ill will or anything there. I just lost to him in fantasy last week. So, when you run 10 miles, do you have a pre-workout or post-workout meal or drink? I can't eat anything before I run or I'll throw it up. Post, I have to drink plenty of water. And maybe sometimes I can keep a Gatorade down. But to be fair, I'm not in the greatest shape ever. I'm going to use the off season to be working out a lot too. NASCAR show. God, NASCAR show's the greatest parody account out there. What's up, Michael? How's it going? Man, I sure feel good about things after hearing from the Steves today. God, I'm excited after listening to them. No sarcasm at all. Yeah, I put a video out about that. I have not checked yet. I'm sure, Michael, you have. If not, you definitely should, because I know you'll have a good perspective on it. It's rough, man. I feel like NASCAR fans will be like, man, like, we just want one time where they're transparent, not giving us corporate ease, and then it's just Zuko going, that's rough, buddy. One more. Let's do one more, and then we'll head out. So let a few of them roll, and I'll pick one. Man. Well, thanks, Michael. I appreciate it, but I'll tell you what. Watch Michael's videos. Streams are awesome. His videos on the sport are awesome. Like, Michael's an awesome guy. The number one, him and Blue Jimmy are like the co-number one Jimmy fans out there, man. Cody Coughlin. Let's see. Scroll through here. What's this one I'll add on from the last one. What's the one marathon you want to run in your life? I want to run Boston one day, but I want to do it when I can qualify in off of time, not just be there. I want to be a sub 3 hour marathon runner when I run Boston. I will run it one day. I'm determined to. I don't care if I'm in my 50s, 60s, 70s when I do it. Thank you, Chase Elliott, number 9 fan. Not a question, but nice shirt. Thank you. Best movie ever. Let's see. Your favorite paint scheme this weekend for Cup. Mine's either Truex's Throwback or Jimmy's Fan Design 84. I haven't looked to in... This is my sign. I need to end it pretty quick. I haven't looked too in detail on it. I was not able to see practice, but I do like Truex's. I love that car back in 04, 05. But man, the Reddick Beast car is just good in general. I wish that was like the car he had every race, personally. But I appreciate you guys coming out here, dealing with me, sick boy. We'll be live tomorrow after Xfinity, and of course Cup. And Wednesday on Eric Eastep's channel for the NWP season finale. Plenty to talk about. Yeah, should be fun. I feel great. It's literally just the voice I need to nurse back. So I'm going to go do that. Y'all have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night, and I will see you tomorrow. Later, y'all. Bye.